40, here we are, sheltering from the deluge at Rodney Parade. Maybe not the best day to be here, but definitely a place you want to be here come the end of the season. Looking back on last year, WBSR Coach of the Year, League Champions, but the Cup triumph eluded you. How would you reflect on last year's campaign?
Yeah, like really happy with some bits, not so happy with other bits. But I think that comes down to ultimately me as an individual and how I run the program. I think I did a lot of self-reflection as a coach in the off season, and if I'm being brutally honest, I don't think the girls got the best of me last year, and that's something I really want to make sure that they get this year. I'm really passionate about this group and this league, and it's definitely something that I want to keep striving to get better as a head coach and making sure that ultimately within the rugby circle, you want to be a good person first and foremost. And I probably felt I slipped away a little bit from that, and I want to be seen as a good person that wants to do well in this league. And I want to grow this league and this game, not just for Hartpury, but for this league in general, because it's really special. So, look, incredibly honoured to win Coach of the Year, but that's not a reflection on me. That's the staff and the players around me. Incredibly proud to have won the league, because to me that means a lot, that you're the most consistent team over the course of the year. And look, we didn't win the cup, which it hurt, but on reflection, that the week leading up to it, the game, we weren't the better team on the day, and fair play to Lisa, and what she achieved in that period was phenomenal from Cardiff Met. So again, like a real different script for the league as well, but I think it's a good one at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection of how the league's grown, and there's strength up and down it now, isn't there? And looking at that strength, you got to explore that as head coach of the newly formed England women's students, and an overwhelming, resounding victory against the British Army. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, one of the best weeks of my life in general. I think it was really special. It was really special to do it with some other fellow university coaches, with Poppy and Amber. I couldn't speak highly enough of the both of them. They care really passionately about this group, and we all share that kind of common passion. The girls that played in it, that the whole week was truly special, and I'm hoping that it's a showcase of the talent that is in this league, that it isn't getting representation at age grade rugby, and hopefully it opens the door to what this potential pathway could be for the Red Roses moving forward.
I mean, like, pathway, like, we're right in the heart of the biggest Women's World Cup ever, and it seems no matter what game you're watching, there is a Women's BSR player or a former Women's BSR player pulling on an international jersey. So that blows my mind, even though I've done this for nearly 10 years. The quality of players that we're churning out, and like the profound influence it has on the international game, particularly in the home nations.
Yeah, I think again, all the teams now, you look at PWR and the way that teams are now investing in the university sides. Brunel coming to lead this year will come in, and they'll come in really strong, because Ealing have decided to put backing behind that, and it's the right thing to do if you want to be successful at the top. But from a Hartpury perspective, we're incredibly proud of the amount of players that are pulling on jerseys for countries. We've got 5 or 6, I think, players that are still at university that are in that World Cup, which is an unbelievable achievement to do that as a student athlete. But again, we want to celebrate that Hartpury has been at the pinnacle of the women's development, the women's rugby development in that space for a long time, and there is 30, 40 players alone across the World Cup that have come from Hartpury, and other universities are starting to buy into that and feed the benefits as well. And in 4 years' time, hopefully there's going to be even more players that have come through this university pathway.
So, looking ahead of the season, love this league because we just get a fresh crop of talent every year, and like Hartpury particularly, because I know you draw a lot from your college system. We see even under 18s playing BUCS Super Rugby for you. You got some good ones for us. You got some rare talents lined up coming through the ranks.
Yeah, again, it's really tough, isn't it? Like this calendar year for the WBSR is going to be really challenging. It will be. I'll be really open and honest about that, and that's something that I think we need to address and understand what what the role of this league is for these girls. The nice thing about it with that calendar though is you get to see so many different talents. So there'll be some girls that have come through national under-18s pathways that people will be really aware of. So the likes of a Georgia Iona coming through from Wales has been incredibly successful. Hannah Smythe or Ellie Wilson from England are going to be phenomenal talents. But you're also going to see players that have probably just been college players or come from other areas that haven't had that national representation that we might get to see. And people develop at different ages, and that's what's so special, that some people might crack it in their first year, some might crack it in their third or fourth year. But that's what's so special about university rugby, is because there will be an opportunity at some point. That's then up to you to take it. I think what it is on my responsibility is to make sure as a group that this year I make sure that we are unbelievably connected as a whole group, no matter how many people we've got coming in and out of it, which we will have this year.
We love a bit of WBSR, don't we, 40?
Love it.